Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yes, it has been far too long since my last posting, but a lot has happened here. Ups and downs. We are finally at an up, and I am just sat here, and you may notice that it looks a little bit different around me. So I will go into all of that detail and fill you in on what's been happening. I am just going to finish drinking my cup of Starbucks and sort my face out, and then I will be back with you and will tell you everything that's been going on here in Canada. Okay, so I'm going to start you off with the good part. We have a house! Not bought, we have rented a house, but we have finally got our own space, and we have now started our Canadian adventure as a family on our own, rather than obviously relying on family. So I will now give you a tour of the place. Okay, so here it is. Scott's car. And this is all our lawn that we have to cut, or front yard as they call it. So we are in the upper part of the house, which I will show you in a second. The basement is being renovated and will be rented to somebody else. We have a double garage or garage, obviously because they're doing the renovations, it's kind of got everything in it, but that will all go, and then we can sort the garage out. And this is one of my favorite bits. So we have a lovely garden. Although when I say garden out here, they don't call this a garden, they call this a backyard. If you say a garden, they presume you're talking about a vegetable patch. So these are my new chairs that I bought, obviously stacked up. We're gonna organise the garden today, so we've got a fire pit, some sun loungers, some deck chairs, and a hammock. But I haven't actually laid in the hammock yet because it's like caterpillar season, so whenever I lay in it there's bugs everywhere. So this is our garden, and then I will bring you back and show you inside the house. So it might be a bit noisy inside because Scott is currently watching the football, because I think the Euros have started today. If they haven't, then ignore me, I'm talking rubbish, but I'm pretty sure it is the Euros. So, my welcome sign. And here we are. That's my vacuum. Okay. So you come in through the front door, and then you go up a couple of stairs. And look at my kitchen! Our kitchen! Yes. Oh. Okay. So that is, sorry, I did say it was going to be noisy. Scott is watching the football. He hasn't figured out how to get it on the TV yet, so he is watching it off of the iPad. But these are our new sofas. So all of the furniture is new. So we've got a love seat and a corner sofa, and then over here we have got our new dining table, and yes, you will notice there is only 3 chairs. One of them arrived like broken, and we need to get 2 accent tables for the end. But I am loving the kitchen, and I love having the island, and then it's got deep drawers and everything. I love it. And then the fridge, it's like a big American style fridge freezer, and inside it gives you water, so I don't ever have to buy bottled water again. There's like a button here, you press and hold it and water comes out. And then in the freezer we have like a magic ice machine. Ice just arrives when you need it. I don't know how, but it does. And then this is our washer dryer, and our hallway, And then, if you remember what I was saying from my first vlog, I love a his and her sink, and I always wanted a his and her sink, and look, there we have it. Oh, it's me, hey! Sorry about the camera photography here. So that is our bathroom, which I love. This is Taylor's room, so as you can see, I have not tidied this. This is a 10-year-old boy's room, and he can tidy it. And I know it's got pink curtains. They came with it. I'm trying to get him some blue curtains, but obviously until this Friday, shops have been closed. This is just our spare room, which will be set up like a guest bedroom, but at the moment it's kind of like our laundry room. And then this is our bedroom. So we've got all like IKEA furniture, excuse the mess. But I love it. So to tell you what's been going on with us over here, it is a very long story, but I will condense it for you guys. It has been emotional roller coaster, which is why there's been quite a bit of a delay from posting my last vlog to posting this vlog. And I now feel completely ready to start vlogging again. I'm in a much better place, and hopefully you will see some good videos going forward rather than my constant negativity and things going wrong and hurdles. The only upside I can think for you guys is you are seeing what could happen when you come, and things that a real life honest approach to what's been going on. So obviously we moved in January, me, Scott and our son Taylor, and we moved from the UK to Canada, Ontario. So we were living in Innisfil, and we come over and we'd moved in with my cousin. Now that is always hard because she's got her own family, she's older, she's got a 18-year-old son. I've got my own family and a child, and we had Simba. So you've got two families living under one roof, which is always going to be difficult. I know, because my poor parents have had me move in several times throughout my life. I left home when I was 20, and I must have gone back there. I can't even count how many times I've had to move back in for various different reasons. So it is always quite hard. And before we moved out to Canada, when we'd sold our house in the UK, we were living with my parents. So we really haven't had our own space since October, well, September, I think we moved in with my parents. So we haven't had our own space for such a long time. And long story short, we got to a point only a few weeks ago in May, I think, and we realized that we needed to find our own space. I didn't want to put any pressure on the relationship with my cousin, because that's part of being out here. You need to have your family around you, and you don't want to put pressure on the relationship. So I thought, we need to move out, we need to have our own space. That's when the headaches came. So at the moment we have had to rehome Simba. Now, not rehome forever, we know where he is, and he's kind of being fostered. So one of our friend's daughters is currently looking after Simba. She lives on a big farm, doesn't have any neighbours, no dogs for him to argue with, and that was one of the most heartbreaking decisions that I had to do. And the reason that we had to do that is because we needed to be in a position to be able to find a rental property. And although Ontario will tell you that landlords cannot discriminate and they cannot stop you from having a pet, yes, they damn can. So they will put it on their adverts, no pets. They would prefer not to have pets. Now, although now that we're in a property, there's nothing to stop us from bringing in our dog, and the landlord can't do anything because it's part of law in Ontario that a landlord cannot stop a tenant from having pets. We would never do that. without getting authorization from our landlord. We're just not those type of people. And when you're looking for a property to rent, and if you're moving shortly and you're moving from the UK to Canada and you're thinking it's going to be easy to find a property to rent, I have to tell you it's not. We had so many headaches. At one point we were thinking we're just going to have to live in a hotel, and not because things were that bad, just because we needed, it got to the point where everything was building up inside of us and we needed our own space. And we were looking at different properties, and all it was basements, and I queued for like all down the road to view one basement, and it was grotty, and I thought, I can't imagine living there. But you can see the amount of people that are needing a property because I was queued down the road for something that was grotty, and there is just not a lot on the market. So price wise, it's quite expensive, I'm not going to lie. So basements, you're looking at sort of like a 2-bedroom basement, say you're looking about 1900 a month Canadian dollars. We have got this 3-bedroom upper part of the house, so it feels to me, it feels like a proper house. We've got a massive garden, we've got a double garage. We pay $2,400 a month, and then you pay utilities on top. And then we've got a deal with our landlord that if we mow the lawn, then we get $100 back a month. So essentially our rent would be $2,300, but that's not cheap. So when you've got Scott working full-time, me only working part-time and doing my college course, it is a financial struggle. And I've had people message me and say, do you think that I can afford this? Or I'm coming on my own over to Canada, can I afford it? I can honestly say, hand on heart, that if I didn't have Scott working a full-time job, and if I didn't have my parents, who have been really, really helping me and supporting me on this journey, then no, I don't know what I would do. I would either need to be completely living with family and have them have me live there for nothing, or I wouldn't be able to do it. Or you need to have like a nest egg of money. Now we do have that money because obviously we sold our house in the UK, but if we eat into that money and spend that money, we're never going to get on the property market here. Now I think I told you in my last vlog that the market out here has skyrocketed because of COVID. So there is no way that we're going to get on the property ladder to buy a house yet. We would love a house like this. We would love to buy this house, but you're looking at around like 800,000 at the moment for a house like this. Like houses in my cousin's street were selling for like $1 million plus. So the market has gone crazy. So we've had all of the stress of moving, not knowing if we're going to get picked or not, because obviously, as I said, everybody is looking for a property to rent, and you have to come prepared. So my only word of advice to anyone that is looking to rent a property, and then you actually get to view the property, because that's a chore in itself, when you're responding to ads on Facebook, Kijiji, you could send loads of requests. Can I view your property? This is my situation. And loads of people will just ignore you. And then 2 weeks later, oh, sorry, we've sold. I had hundreds of messages to get through. So there is so much competition. You need to come prepared. So my advice, and what I did, which is one of the reasons that we actually got the house, is I come up with a documentation folder, basically promoting us as tenants. So I come prepared. I had Scott's credit report printed off, my credit report printed off, and they're not bad, our credit reports, considering we've only been here since January. I had our pay slips printed off. I had bank statements printed off. I then brought the statement from Starling Bank, my bank in the UK, to show that I had that money like from our house fund. Now they don't need to know that I'm not planning on using that, but I had that as a backup just to show that we do have money. If there was anything to go wrong with the rent, then we could afford it. So I come super prepared, had it in a plastic wallet presentation folder, and gave that to 2 properties, because when we found this property, well, there was 3 properties that we almost went for. The first one we went to see in North Barry. There was a condo. The landlord there would have allowed us to take our dog, Simba, so that was very appealing. Now, it was 3 bedrooms, it was a really large condo, but my thoughts were, I've never lived in, well, I have lived in a condo, an apartment. Like when I first moved out when I was 20, I lived in an apartment, but I was thinking about Taylor and the kind of experience that he was having where my cousin was living, where he was on the street and he had his hoverboard. He's got his hoverboard, he's got his flicker, he's got his skateboard, he's got his bike. And I was just looking out the window at the condo thinking, where is he gonna go? Because he can't go and play with his friends in the street. We're looking out to a car park. And that was a down point for me. There was a plus point in the fact that we could have Simba, we could be a family, but I thought realistically about Taylor, and I thought, I don't know how that's gonna work. And the other thing that put the stamp on it that we weren't going to get it is it only come with 1 parking space, and we have 2 cars. And although the landlord seemed to think it'd be fine and we'd find somewhere, for a year that you'd be tied into a contract, I didn't want to be parking down a street that I didn't know, or parking in a car park, risk getting a fine or a ticket, and I just didn't want the aggro. So then we found another house which was in the North Barry. Similar design, it had the upper part of the house and the downstairs rented separately, which is what you will find pretty much most of the places around here. And it's smart, don't get me wrong. If I was a landlord, I'd be doing it, because you can make way more money by splitting the house and charging like almost 2 grand a month for your basement and over 2 grand a month for the upper level. Like, they're paying off their mortgage and having loads extra, so I get it. But the other one that we saw, it was on a main road, and although it was nice, the landlord was lovely, and we were really strongly considering it. It was round the corner from my Auntie Jean's, it would have been perfect. The main road kind of put me off. And then when we got offered this property, and we are in a crescent, so it's not got very much traffic at all. There's hardly like the only cars that come down are really the cars that are in this little crescent, and Taylor can go and across the road from the house. We've got trails right on our doorstep. It's just beautiful. So when we had the 2 landlords at the same time say that we could have their property, we had to then, we never thought we'd be in the position where we could choose. We thought we'd have to just take whatever we got. But I think it was my presentation folders. We chose this place, obviously, because of the location, and I couldn't be happier. It is beautiful here. Taylor, I think the first day that we moved in, he was like, oh, I'm never gonna have friends. I'm gonna have to sit in, because obviously all of his friends were at the street where my cousin lived, which is only round the corner. It's a like 8-minute drive, if that. And he was like, oh, I'm never gonna have any friends. Next minute, ding dong. I was like, the doorbell, we've got a doorbell. I went down, 2 boys at the door. Is Taylor coming out to play? And I was like, oh, okay. And then see you later, he's gone. The next thing he's saying, oh, mummy, I'm having a sleepover tonight in the tent. Like, he literally, I think it was like our first, second day of being here. He's off having a sleepover down the road. We've met the neighbors, everyone's super friendly. And I am just so happy. There's been ups and downs, and I'm missing Simba. And when I had to make that move in order to get us property, I was heartbroken. And when I had to drive him and couldn't stop cuddling him, it was heartbreaking. And Taylor, I don't think it affected him as much as it did to me, because all in his mind, he's like, Simba's coming back, it won't be long. In my head, I'm thinking about the reality, and I'm thinking, how long is it? Do we get to have Simba back here? Is it going to be difficult? Do we look for a different home for him? Will he be happier on somebody that's got a farm? It's just trying to weigh everything up at the moment. So I was up front with our landlord when we moved in here, and I said, like, we did have a dog, we flew him over from the UK, we moved him in to a foster family because we weren't sure what the process was going to be with us being able to find a house, and luckily he is really lovely, but obviously where he's renovating the basement, what he has said to us is that if he can find tenants for the basement, then we can kind of approach that conversation after he's found some tenants, because one thing we don't know, maybe they've got a dog, a little dog or something, and then that's not going to work because they share a little part of our garden and Simba is going to be freaked out by that. Or the other thing, maybe they've got allergies, maybe they've got a phobia of dogs. So it's all stuff that is kind of still up in the air. But all I can say is that I wake up so happy that you can just lay back on the sofa, have a cup of coffee, and this is our own little, this is my zen. This is my own little space, and I've got my head space. And don't get me wrong, I could not have wished for a better start to our journey in Canada. Being with my cousin and being on that street in Innisfil, I couldn't have asked for anything better. I am so grateful and so happy that we were there, and I have met some amazing friends, and these are going to be like friends for life. So I wouldn't say, oh, I wish that we'd looked for a property in England before we moved out here and moved straight in. I'm not going to say that at all. Everything that happened has been lovely and part of the journey. It's had its ups and downs and it's had its headaches, but it's all working itself out, and it's working itself out for the better. So we've got our friends. I'm only around the corner from my cousins, so we can go around there whenever. And obviously she's got the swimming pool, so we need to go back there. But everything has happened for a reason. We could be here when looking for a property, and I think that's really important, to actually be here rather than trying to organise a property from the UK. You don't know what you're going to get, and because there isn't a lot available, you could be left, like the pictures of this basement that we went to see that was grotty, the pictures looked all right. So if I was in England and thinking, oh yeah, like it looked better than what it was from the pictures. So you never know. So I think being here and actually going and physically looking at and viewing the properties yourself makes all of the difference. And also you get a feel for the neighbourhoods and the areas. And I love this area. So we are in South Barry, kind of Big Bay Point area, and it's one of my favourite areas. It's just peaceful. There's trees everywhere, nature. We've got the trail opposite. It's just lovely. So the next thing that we had to do and we were stressing out about was furniture, because when we lived at my cousin's, we didn't need any furniture. All that we bought was what I'd showed you previously, which we bought the queen size bed and mattress, and that's pretty much all that we had, because we sold all of our furniture in the UK. It would cost more money to ship it out than it would to buy our whole new house worth of stuff. So we then had to decide where we were going to get the furniture, because we were still in lockdown here in Ontario. So we've moved in the middle of a lockdown. No shops are open, so we can't go in and look at anything that we want. It was really hard to get things. But I think we ended up spending about $5,000 Canadian, and we furnished the entire house. So we've got this sofas that I showed you, the dining table and chairs. One of the last things to arrive was our coffee table and TV stand. So for a while we had our TV on top of 2 suitcases in the lounge, because that was all that we could do. And we got Taylor a bunk bed, we got him a desk and everything. We got another queen size bed for the spare room and mattress, so for when our parents come over or any family, they can stay in our spare room. So yeah, so furniture, we got all sort of like cheap furniture. We didn't get anything really expensive. We got most of our stuff from Mike the mattress guy. If you remember me talking about, that's where we got our bed from when we first moved here. So we got our sofas from Mike the mattress guy, the dining table and chairs, our bar stools for the island, our other queen size bed and mattress, and our bunk beds. And then we had a delivery from IKEA. So we had, in our bedroom, we got our bedside tables from IKEA and the big chest of drawers. And I was up building that until midnight one night when we first moved in. I don't ever want to see an IKEA piece of furniture again, because that was, whoa. And the drawers don't like go in properly, but I am not putting that down to my building skills. I'm putting that down to their screws. So anyway, we are now fully furnished. And the other thing that I need to say is about the generosity of my friends and the Canadians, because we were in a place where we literally didn't have anything, and our friends knew, and they also knew that we don't want to spend too much of our money that we've got set up, because the plan is that for us to buy eventually. So everyone has been pitching in and helping us. So on the street where we lived with my cousin, one day my friends called us round and said there was something really important and they needed to speak to us. And I was like, oh, thinking, what's gone on? Like, has something happened to Simba? Is something like, what's going on? And I get like, once I know that somebody wants to speak to me, I'm then racking my brain thinking, what is it about? And we got there, and our friends had written us a poem, and they read the poem and then took a blanket off their table, and a few of the neighbours, like a few of the different neighbours that we've known and met, had all put in a bit of money, and they had bought us some lovely like saucepans, pots and pans from, it's called The Rock, which is a nice make of pans out here. They bought us those, and then some glass mixing bowls, some little glass food containers, a frying pan, and then Nikki, my friend, got me a herb garden, so like for the basil and rosemary and everything for the garden. And it was just lovely to think that friends would do that, and they cared about us and they wanted to help. And then that same day, just after we got all of that, and I was so overwhelmed and emotional, and then I drove back to our new house, and there was a box of flowers on my doorstep, and that was from one of my friends, Laura, from England, who had sent me some flowers because she knew that I was going through sort of a hard emotional time, and I was just completely overwhelmed by everyone's kindness. And then another thing that we've been doing is garage sales, or I say garage sales, I've turned Canadian, garage sales. So garage sales, yard sales, that has been amazing to get all of the bits and pieces that we needed for the house. So instead of car boot sales, like they don't have car boot sales out here, what they would do is everyone would put everything on their driveway, and then they'd advertise it on Facebook Marketplace, garage sale, yard sale, this date, this time. So I've been waking up and going with my friends, and on a Saturday morning, getting up early and hitting the garage sales. So just before we moved in, we went to one garage sale, and they literally it was like the best garage sale ever. They were moving and they'd put everything out onto their driveway, and it was all decent quality stuff. Not like, I know they say one person's junk is another person's treasure, but this was decent stuff. Like most of it was brand new, had the labels and tags on and everything, and we managed to get everything for the kitchen, like the whole cutlery tray full of cutlery, barely been used, all of the utensils, everything. Yeah, so we got everything from this garage sale, everything to furnish the house, from like vases with fake flowers, ornaments, like plates, other pots and pans, knives. I got everything. So I've really sort of sorted myself out. So I just need to show you a little clip of what I just found on my camera when I was uploading this vlog for you, and it made me laugh, and I hope it makes you guys laugh. So I've just got a little snippet of what my son Taylor had done with my camera that I didn't even realize he was doing.
Well, hi. My name's Taylor, and this is my mum, Kat. Say hi, Kat. Mum. And my mum's doing a vlog. Pretty cool, eh? She's a vlogger. She's got 10 million views. Look how nice this camera is. It's pretty freaking good. Do you have? Yeah, it's our house. My house.
I need to tidy up the area.
I'm recording. I'm recording. I was recording. Can you upload that video to your...
So anyway, thanks guys for watching, and if you'd like to continue watching, then please remember to like and subscribe, and I am gonna make it my mission to not be so long in between vlogs in the future for you guys. So I'm gonna start doing a few more regular so that you guys can kind of see along with what's happening rather than loads of stuff happening and then I just do like a half an hour update video. I'll try to keep it smaller for you guys for next time, but this is just to update you on everything that's been happening and our new situation here in Canada. Thanks guys.